If you have an anxious dog at home, then you know how important treats are in your dog's ability to feel comfortable and safe, and overall just throughout the training process. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you the best treats you can use to help your anxious dog. Plus, I'm going to be giving you some activities you can implement right now to find what treats are right for your specific dog. Coming up. What's up, guys? It's Jenna with Dog Liaison, where I coach you on how to enhance your dog's mental health needs. And on this channel, we break down scientific research in order to inform and educate us on how to train dogs. So if you're interested in... That would be my dog. So if you're interested in a nerdier approach to canine cognition, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Plus hit the notification bell so you get notified when I drop a new video, which is every Tuesday and Friday. I'm a professional trainer who works solely with anxiety disorders in dogs, and so I know exactly how important it is for my clients to find the right treats for their dog's treatment. With that said, I do want to be very clear that there actually isn't one single treat that is going to be just absolutely blowing every dog's mind. And the reason is because, of course, every dog has their preference on smell, their preference on taste, and their preference on texture. Texture is something that a lot of people forget when thinking about their dog's treats. Some dogs prefer soft treats, some dogs prefer the crunch, and so that all plays into finding the perfect treat. One of the things that I stress to my clients in the Recovering Rover program, which is my signature program to help reactive and aggressive dogs, including separation anxiety, in that program, one of the things that I stress is that we try to pair high value treats with high criteria, medium value treats with medium criteria, low value treats with low criteria. And so we're trying to always pay the dogs comparably to how hard they're working. So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to brain dump all of the treats, all of the foods, human or otherwise, that you have given your dog. And I just want you to try to list them all on a paper, not in order right now, just brain dump them. Then, once you have them brain dumped, try to put them in order of what you perceive to be their ranking. So what you perceive to make your dog go, oh, that's really juicy. What is the treat that makes his nose go bonkers? What is the treat that you just pull out the jar and your dog is already freaking out? For example, my dog Max has a conditioned response to bread. I might have the only dog in the universe that values bread almost high value. It's not quite the highest value, but it's definitely more than medium value. I probably have the only dog in the universe that values it that much. But what happens is, as soon as I go into the fridge, he starts listening for the sound of the bread bag. And he knows the second that I grab that bag and it makes that sound, he gets all excited and he comes running over and sits patiently because he knows he's gonna get his breado, as we call it. So for right now, just try to brain dump all of them and try to put them in an order that you perceive. Then what I want you to do is start to think of foods that you might be able to experiment with your dog to see how they value. So usually you want to start off with proteins. That's usually a good foundation. That's a good starting point, if you will. And so you want to think about the salmons, the tunas, the chicken, beef, sausage, whatever, right? Start off with these really salient proteins, and don't be afraid to try the human version of them. Don't feel obligated to get the big, treat bag full of train me treats or whatever. Those are helpful, absolutely, but you would be surprised by how much your dog is going to go bonkers for the real deal. And I do want to give the disclaimer that a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to give my dog human food because then they're always going to be begging me. To be clear, dogs do not know the difference between human food and dog food. What they know is the difference between context. So how is that food delivered to them? And so it is going to be important that you contextualize how you deliver that food, that you're not necessarily taking it, off of your plate and then giving them some, and then taking it off your plate and then giving them some. Or for example, if you always eat at the dining room table, that wouldn't be the time to hand over food because they're memorizing context. They're not memorizing, however, actual foods. They're not going to look at a sausage and go, oh, that is human food. No, food is food, okay? So once you've added some of these foods that you can experiment with, I want you to go into your pantry. I want you to go into your own kitchen and just start exploring. Maybe you've got some crackers in there. Maybe you've got some popcorn in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in the description box and in the pinned comment a list of foods that you can experiment that are dog safe. And I'm even going to put them in an order of approximately how they're usually valued. So this is usually valued a high. This is usually valued a medium, and so you can start experimenting with those treats that you know already are dog safe. Okay, once you have your basic line of foods that you want to experiment, now what you're going to do is start playing a game called Pick. Pick is where you literally are going to give the dogs two options and you're gonna see which one they go for. And you could even, as you start getting better at this game, as your dog starts understanding the game a little bit more, you can put 3-4 treats up against each other. But let's say, for example, that you want to compare chicken with beef. You're gonna put those on the ground or put them on a plate, and you're going to cover it up with a box. Then, ideally, your dog is gonna sit stay if he knows that. Then you're going to lift the box up and you're going to say pick, and then your dog is going to pick one and you're going to remove the other. Now, before you do this, before you jump into the game, I do want to give you some words of caution. For starters, do not play this game if your dog has a history of resource guarding, even if it's minimal resource guarding, because you taking that food away, even if they're getting some food, you taking that away does run a little bit of risk. So if your dog has a history of resource guarding with you, even if it's mild, do not do this game. Additionally, you also want to make sure that your dog understands the concept of pick. If your dog has never heard that word before, it makes sense that he might just look at you dumbfounded and have no idea what he's supposed to do when you lift up that box. That is something that I run into sometimes with my clients, where the dogs don't really know when they're supposed to move forward. So feel free to use your yes marker or your identifier that tells your dog he's allowed to release, whether that's okay or release or whatever, to move your dog forward to permit them to grab the treat. Once you've done run round and your dog has, taken his preferred treat, let's say he took the chicken and the beef is left over, you're going to replace the chicken again, and you're going to do a second repetition and a third and a fourth. Some variations that you can implement is varying the side that the food is on. So for example, if you put the chicken on the left side 2-3 times in a row, then on the fourth repetition, you might put the chicken on the right side and see if he still goes for that chicken. I do want to let you know that it's common for the dogs to bounce around a little bit. It's common for the dogs to say, I'm going to try the chicken this time and the beef next time. So especially when they don't really understand the rule that, oh, I only get one, the other one is going away. So when you first start off playing this game, try not to hold too much water to the first couple of repetitions. What you're really looking for is the data points, right? You're really looking for which food did the dog go for most frequently. That is going to indicate, okay, he went for the chicken, 5 times and he only went for the beef 2 times. That tells me the chicken is probably a preferred flavor. Now, I do want to be clear, there is some science that indicates that a dog could be right-sided or left-sided. That is that they only take the food from the right or they only take the food from the left. Those dogs do seem to exist. And to be completely blunt, I haven't been able to indicate which dog is which until I do this experiment with them a couple of times. So if you're finding that your dog is constantly going to the right treat, no matter what flavor is there, well, then your dog is right-handed and we're gonna have to find a different way to rank his scaling. And if you want a different solution, if you're looking for another tactic that you can use, you can check out this video right here. There's another strategy in that video as well. So effectively, you are going to do this, head-to-head contest, if you will, with a good selection of food. But of course, food is not the only tool, the only resource that we turn to help treat our dog's anxiety. We also turn to other forms of enrichment like toys and sensory enrichment. And so what I've actually done is in the description box, there is a link for you to get a free list of 50 forms of enrichment that you can implement with your dog right now. Most of those forms are free. You wouldn't need to buy anything to do those types of enrichment. So if you're interested in getting your list of 50 types of enrichment, check the description box and hit the link. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that like button to let the YouTube algorithm know, because it really helps me out. And if you're interested in more videos to help your dog's anxiety disorders, hit that subscribe button, because that's what we talk about on this channel. And make sure to check out some of these videos also to help your dog, and I'll see you guys next time.